Jackie from Lovemylifestyle. It's great to have you. So a lot of people have asked me, what do I need on my health journey? Do I have what I need in order to just get started cooking healthy? What should I get? What's a basic essential requirement? What is something that would be nice to have, but I can pass without it? I thought, let me just do this video to give you guys an overview of some of the things that I found really useful when starting this health journey. So today I'm going to show you some of the equipment and appliances specifically that I've used that have been such a lifesaver when it comes to preparing healthy food. Some of these equipment, they'll be the basics that you really need to have just to get started. I mean, when you kind of take cakes off your diet and perhaps bread and a number of other favorites, you want to have a way to do alternative yet healthy meals. Even ice cream, for example, how are you going to make that? And so that's why I want to go through this today with you. Essential kitchen appliances that you can use starting today in your kitchen. It will also help you kind of know, okay, where am I? Do I need to get these? And then also add on some things that they're not really that necessary, but they're nice to have. If you can go out and get them. I'm also going to create an Amazon list, recommended brands that I've used in the past that you can click on, depending on where you are in the world. You can go on Amazon or any of these other online shops. If you're in Kenya, then walk into your next Nakumatt or any appliance shop really and see what you can get. So I hope you find it useful. I'll start off by looking at my set of pots. It's very important to have a good set of pots which can actually help you, and of course pans which can help you, do your magic in the kitchen. But I've actually previously gone with non-stick, and you can see what has happened to my non-stick over time. This is quite an old one. I think I've had it for over 7 years now. Okay, maybe 6 years. And you can see that it's already really coming out. And I really took good care of this. But eventually non-stick pans will fade off, especially those that are Teflon coated. So you want to go with a coating that will not, get off. Because when this comes off, it's going to go in your food, And that's the thing that I never really like to think about. So a new discovery for me, which was kind of a happy accident, because there's a friend of ours who was selling these. She had imported them and was selling them. And it was also a happy coincidence that I got them in green, which matches my kitchen. But these are actually cast iron. They're really heavy. I mean, this can knock a man out, I tell you. And they're also, so they're cast iron, but they're coated in enamel. What the enamel does, it provides a non-stick surface that also is non-reactive. It doesn't react with your food. And it really, as far as I can tell, it doesn't chip. I will have to get more information on this for you guys, and I'll probably link it in the description. But it really doesn't chip. It's great stuff. What you do have to take care of is watch out that you don't get it cracked, because sudden heat changes can crack your enamel, that's for sure. These are really great because you can literally bake something in these. Just put it on your stovetop, put in whatever you're baking, and they're really lovely, especially for just crock pots, soups and things. And I'm making traditional porridge for my kids in the morning. I really, really love them. They're quite a lifesaver. Of course, I do have other pots and pans, which are, your normal, regular stainless steel variety that I use as well. But I love to use my enamel pots a lot more. And I'm really wanting to move away from stainless steel as much. Another thing that is a total lifesaver and a time saver at that is my pressure cooker. And I've got this big, I think it must be, I don't know how many liters this is. Probably 5 liters, I think. And it's really helpful to me because once I soak my beans or my legumes overnight, I pop them in there the next day. And I tell you, they're ready in 20 minutes. And I think this must be something that my mom taught me this. And yes, I've totally applied this. I've gone through pressure cookers a number. It's important to just get a good brand, which will break off. And I think the first thing that starts to be affected, of course, is the arm. So you want to just really invest in a good one. The next thing is a good set of knives. And so here I have, my butcher's knife and just my normal cutting knife, a bread knife, paring knife. Another paring knife. And you want to have also a spatula and a good carrot peeler, for example. And I wanted to show you guys this. One thing that you want to pay attention to is to buy a knife which won't break apart. Well, maybe when I first got this knife, I was really using it a lot because I loved it. But you see the effect. Nowadays, I'm actually more partial to the knives that actually are fully metallic. And but I don't have my set here that I got. Of course, along with knives goes chopping boards. You want to get a good set of chopping boards. Go for the plastic because they're really durable. If you can get good wood, by all means do. And one thing that is useful to do is just to really separate or assign what you're going to use each of the boards for. For example, this one is really useful. I don't know if you guys can see that. It actually, probably not, but it's got there a green, like a tomato icon. There's got like a white icon, and there's got like a meat, a fish icon. So it's useful to help us portion. I really haven't used this the way I should have. To be honest, it all got mixed up at some point. But this is one thing my husband is always telling me, that I think we might need to really separate. In fact, maybe the white one is for the onions, because it's actually got of fumes or something. That would be good for onions, because you don't want to cut cheese on the same board you're cutting onions, or you don't want to cut fruit on the same board that you cut your onions on. So that's something to think about. Next, in terms of kitchen appliances, is your food processor. And I actually just got this one because the one that I have been using, which is this one, has started to have some problems. So this is a blender actually, but it does come with an insert which serves as, it's like a grinder. So that has enabled me to grind up seeds and nuts to make, like peanut butter. Of course, you can only do it a little at a time, and make sure that the peanuts are warmed up. Otherwise, they really congeal and become very thick. This has really served us, for making vegetable smoothies in the morning, or making just any kind of smoothies that you want to make. Throw in your fruits, throw in a bit of nuts, and throw in your yogurt. And it really has served really well. This one broke down, and now I'm onto this food processor. Now, the food processor, I would actually say, if you can get just one thing, you might want to get a food processor. The reason why is because it comes with all these great inserts that actually enable you to do all sorts of things. For example, it at the moment just has this S blade, which enables me to finely chop items. So if I'm wanting to make like cauliflower rice, I just put in my cauliflowers and chop them up. The more as you continue to chop, it actually blends it and becomes juice. So it takes a little longer, but I would actually go for a food processor over a blender when it comes to, for example, preparing more of vegetables. The great thing about it as well is that it's got this insert. It's actually quite a time saver. There's a number of different other inserts. This is, for example, one for a little finer kind of grating. That's for slicing. So they're it's really helpful. I'm loving having this food processor. It's the second one I've had actually. You'll notice that when you do a lot of vegetable stuff, you might actually end up going through a lot of food processors or blend. One way to do it might just to invest in one that you're going to have for long. I'm actually on my goals is to get a Vitamix, which I have not been able to find in Southern Africa for some reason, or in Kenya. So if anyone knows where to get one, please do let me know in the comments, and I would be grateful forever. In case you don't have a blender, then you can fall back on the trusted old grater. And I just set these up for you guys to see some of the possibilities in terms of graters. They are really endless. Really, there's this grater that I've had it for quite a while, and you can tell. But it's got lots of inserts that you can put in there depending on what you'd like to do. For example, this allows you to make, like kind of chips style. You just put the potato in there and press it through, and it'll chop it up into chips. If you'd like to grate, then you put that, and you can put other inserts. For example, that allows you to grate, very finely. That allows you to grate a little less finely, and you also have something that allows you to slice. And I love that it comes with this handy little tool, as most graters would, that will allow you to grab the fruit and kind of then just pass it over. So you're protecting your little fingers from getting sliced off. So that's a really cool tool. Next, you want to make sure that you have a kettle. Of course, this is quite basic, because you want to boil your water more often than microwaving it. It's really much better for your health, guys. Don't even get me started on talk about microwaves. I also have a hand blender, which is a great fallback, because all I do normally would be to just put it into a deep you need a deep bowl, otherwise everything will go splashing everywhere. And, just turn it on and it'll blend things pretty fine. It actually works a lot quicker than a food processor when you're needing to blend up. And especially when you have a recipe that calls for blending of anything, it's quite useful. So we've taken a look at the basic ones. Why don't we have a look at the ones that might be nice to have? You don't really need to break your back or your bank to get them, but why not? If it's going to save you time, and sometimes time is really money. So we're done. I'm so glad that we got to walk through this with you guys today. Please let me know how good you found it, and let me know in the comments below what more you'd like to see from me, because I really want to support you guys. The journey of health is not an easy one. It's kind of like this narrow road a lot of people talk about. Narrow is the road. So narrow is the road to health. But we can do it, guys. We do it one day at a time. We're going to get there. Thanks, and see you next time. Please be sure to subscribe. Click on the button below and subscribe. Also check out some of my other videos. And we'll see you later.